How many would agree that this is an interesting process at the minimum? I'm amazed that this hotel keeps allowing us to come back here. Till the ending of the world! What the heck is going on at that part of the building? I did this once with... I do this with sales teams all the time because part of the issue is confidence, it's power. Highest energy wins. And for a lot of people, the difference between getting big checks and little checks is how big of a game that you play in your own head. The reason I love sales is because 95% of the sale is already decided in your own head before you open your mouth. How many people know what I'm talking about? If you think you're going to be a pest, guess what you end up becoming? A pest. But if I mentioned as a gorilla, is that I met a guy who is one of the top Fuller Brush salespeople. You have Fuller Brush, door-to-door, the classic Fuller Brush salesperson. This guy, young guy, probably early 20s, late teens maybe. And he had just been awarded the #1 sales rep for Fuller Brush in Central California, San Joaquin Valley area or whatever. Okay. And I said, how do you do that? I mean, I don't know about you. I mean, I think I can sell, but man, door-to-door, and I've done door-to-door. How many have done door-to-door? Okay, good. I've done it. I wouldn't base my career on it, though. How many know what I'm talking about? It's a great character builder. But he loves it. I go, how do you do that? He goes, before I go into the building, before I go in, I know they have a check waiting for me. I go, what? Because yeah, I know they don't know it yet, but I know that they've got a check waiting. There's a check in there waiting for me. They just don't know it yet. I said, well, how do you be that confident? He goes, look. He says, I look at it this way. He goes, I know that no matter who they ever deal with, they could never deal with anybody better than me. There is nobody that will take care of them that really has their interest at heart the way I do. I will give everything for these people. When they feel that and they understand it, there's no way they won't be able to give me that check. That's called confidence. That's also called what? Intention. What's it called? Intention. So part of the process, the reason I do this exercise is because I think in every person there is that power and that intention to have what you want to have, to be who you want to be. The question is, the problem is for me is I kept modeling myself. That was a problem. Because I looked around, I went through a very painful divorce many years ago. Almost crashed that company. Had to bankrupt that company. I mean, and I had no money in my pocket. I'm going around. There's one thing. I had an engagement that ended up in a horrible mess, and I had to take a look around. I said, there's one thing in common with all these experiences. Yeah, moi. And some of you are going, no kidding, you idiot. But for me, in that part of my life, wherever that piece is, little guy, big guy, yeah, there it is over there, is that for me, at that point in my life, I mean, I knew it intellectually, but once I got it, it shifted my life. So I just became as much of a kamikaze about trying to get my power back as I had been about the rest of my life up until that point. Does that make sense? And what I found is, and I have this belief, not based on fact, only based on my observation. Is this clear? Am I clear? Yes. Who's doing? Good, thank you. Crystal. It's just only my opinion. My opinion and my belief is that the power that you've seen on the videos, how many people were moved by King? Moved by any of those videos? My experience is the reason you're moved by them is because it resonated with a part of you that shares the same power. If you weren't touched, if you weren't moved, to me, I think you had to be somewhat numb But for most people, I think it's because my experiences, and I've worked with hundreds of thousands of people, you all have that gift. Now, how you deliver it, how you choose to do it is up to you. Be different. But I have you experience a few moments with the power of, see, the power of great leaders is it brings out the best in all of us, yes? That's what a leader does, whether they're physically here or not. So you pulled the video that you pulled for a reason, and I don't know what it is. Someone came up to me and said, you know, it's interesting, I got this video, and she's from Alabama. Who is that person? Or where is it? Atlanta, Georgia. Sorry, Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, very different. And she said, and what was the distinction? You were in the first what?
Integrated in the South.
She was in the first school class that was integrated in the South.
Yeah, I was in South Africa when and in one of the first school classes that was integrated as well. So, and I got King.
See, so I kind of believe, and I can say that to this group. I wouldn't be able to say this to a corporate group necessarily, but it's my experience over the years is that there are no mistakes. I had to bankrupt the company and go through a divorce for a reason. It didn't seem like a very good reason at the time. But I had a business partner that said to me at the time when I was going through all of it all about the same time, and he said to me, he goes, I said, well, you know, why is this happening to me? How many of you ever said this? Why is this happening to me? I'm going, what did I do to deserve this? Right? And he looked at me, and mostly this partner, ex-partner, was a real jerk. I really, to this day, do not like him. But there was a moment as if somebody spoke through him, and he looked right at me. He goes, what makes you, I said, why is this happening to me? He goes, why do you think you're so special? I go, what? He says, what makes you think you're so special? What makes you think you're so different than everybody else? I go, Pat, what are you talking about? He goes, look, you got a gift. Your gift is you know how to teach. It became obvious the first day I met you. You know why this is happening? You think you're so special because you don't have to. You walk on water or something, and you don't face the problems other people face. Because the reason you face these problems is because when you get in front of a room, he says nobody can BS you on bankruptcy, divorce, customer problems, employee problems, because you've looked down the same gun barrel.
That was for the partnership.
Yeah, I mean, that was about the only brilliant thing he ever said. No, I'm just teasing. But do you understand what I'm saying? And I never forget those words. I never forget that night. I mean, I know exactly where I was, exactly what was going on. It was 21st floor of those towers that are right on Century Boulevard, right by the airport there. That's where our office was, up in a corner office there looking over the runway.